Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, April 21st, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. All of you hopefully have the backup number in case we have any mishaps with the main number. So I think we're covered by the universe. And the new number is on our website, so if you don't have it, you can get it there. There's a lot of us are, and it's happened on occasion where people get kind of a strange fatigue, if you will, overload, and with all of the energies flying on this planet, it's not unheard of. But to be present and allow all this effort to finally rest and just let yourself experience is-ness. Feel what it's like to be empty of everything and simply be present to what and who is here now. Relax, sit back, bathe in your divine essence. So in a lot of situations, when you just take a couple of steps back and focus only on the now and just be. Nothing to pursue, nothing to gain, nothing to get, period. When you want nothing, seek nothing, expect nothing, then the supreme state will come to you uninvited and unexpected. Stop making use of your mind and see what happens. Do this one thing thoroughly. That is all. Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. To become more conscious, we must choose to be willing to investigate the source of consciousness itself. We must choose to look into the core of creation, investigate the source of God with open eyes of wonder. There must be a willingness to listen to what it's saying so we can stop seeking and start finding. When we have a deep childlike curiosity about this conscious source, we will find it easily and effortlessly. Many of us, throughout the ages, years of spiritual searching from one guru to the next, reading, seeking, found that unawareness is our worst enemy. The moment we truly stop focusing on the mind on anything, we absorb our spiritual nature. The spiritual beings that we are come out of hiding. For a few moments, we stop defining who and what we truly are and start to explore our very nature as if it was for the first time. The day that we learn how to let go of Struggleville is when we discover an unstoppable burning yearning to be free from the mind. The mind is what's creating suffering. It is constantly running the show, looking for the next big thing, never resting or taking a vacation from life. The greatest, most divine experience that this life has to offer us is readily available within us now. Just sitting here in your body, reading, listening, right now, you can discover it. You can tap into the most exquisite connection with the God Source itself right now. You have to choose to do one simple thing. Be unfocused and completely still. It's those busy spinning wheels turning up in the head, thinking about getting somewhere better than here now that causes us to miss it. We end up forgetting all about God, creating a very impatient life that perpetually lives in a narrowed, contracted experience of reality. The churning mind is the problem because it is what turns us into a more unconscious, unhappy, and stuck human being. Most people never realize that each moment contains this opportunity to be free. Through becoming more still and quiet, we can access the highest energy and intelligence in the universe. In this relaxed state, it is much easier to manifest and receive the dream life each of us desire. We can listen better. Our intuition is clearer. So we have the perfect awareness to know what are the right and wrong decisions to make. It's wonderful that there are a zillion different ways to experience life. Yet why keep choosing the ones that make you suffer? You are much more amazing than what you've been told. You have a creative power inside you to develop and experience what you want. There is plenty of time, energy, and space to explore this amazing universe when you are simply being still, present, and open to this ordinary moment of life. It liberates the mind so you can absorb the experience, the God source, which is within the pure state of consciousness itself. Pain and joy are inevitable. Suffering is optional. Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. Pain and joy are inevitable. Suffering is optional. There are so many ironies in life, in this life. Most of us have been programmed since birth to believe that if we focus more, push ourselves harder on the treadmill of this life, we will become happier human beings. If we only could make more money, we could buy more things and have a better experience of life. But the truth is that this level of happiness is always temporary. If we truly want to be happy, we must choose to simplify our lives so we have the time and energy to become a more conscious human being. Our precious time here, which will then make us feel more alive and abundant and free. Only then can we make more enlightened choices about what we truly want to do with our precious time. The greatest truth is always more mysterious than the mind can comprehend. The mind will always yearn to be on this highly important and grandiose search for something out there to fulfill us in here. This unconscious addiction is exactly what creates the prison we feel inside. The seeking mind pulls us into an empty jail cell that feels like a state of lack, making us believe we are missing out on something that is more amazing than God. With a clear spiritual mindset, we can know and feel that we are it. We are the center of our reality. In each moment, we are the one responsible for the creation of our experience. We don't have to continue searching higher, deeper, and longer to have a better and bigger spiritual experience. We don't need God. We are God. Understand that. We don't need God. We are God. We don't have to force this idea on anyone either. When we realize it for ourselves, that is enough. Others will learn this amazing truth just by being in our presence. This is the real spiritual goal of this life, of any life. To realize we are the one we've been searching for and simply relax into that. You are the supreme reality, all there is. Just trust and remember that. Wisdom lies in never forgetting the self, the supreme absolute, as the ever-present source of both the experiencer and the experience. I am beyond consciousness, and so in consciousness, I cannot say what I am, yet I am. Let go of the idea that you are not aware of yourself. Let go of the idea that you are not aware of yourself. As the ever-present, changeless, inexpressible reality, just let go. Sri Nisargadatta Baraj. Okay, so you're probably wanting a more practical secret to becoming a more conscious human being. Do this one thing, yet do it all the time. Whenever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, train your body how to relax. Let your breath take you inside yourself, deeply inside you, all the time. You must choose to trick the mind, to let go of its stories, its list of desires, and eventually release its main attachment to that one big thing that it foolishly believes will satisfy it forever. This deep, profound, self-realizing release begins by being willing to be wrong about how we've been living our lives. We must choose to drop all our super important ideas about how we think our lives should be and explore the unknown with a sense of awe and wonder. In order for a great spiritual awakening to take place, we must choose to trust that all of our desires are going to manifest at the perfect time and place. Everything is already on target. This universe is very intelligent, and it's already taken care of our needs. We can only feel this state of perfection, of already being deeply cared for, when we can surrender ourselves over 100% over to this universe. When we are simply relaxed, we can be deeply appreciative of life exactly how it is right now, and suddenly find an uncompromising source of happiness that is always available within. Just think about that. All of us on this planet, every one of us, has this ability, has this power. And the ego mind does everything it can to dispel it and discredit it and to make you think that it's all a bunch of hooey, that it's silly, that it's make-believe. And it's actually the opposite. It's the truth of that. This is what we all are. We get caught up in this world. We get caught up in all the activities and everything, and we don't go within. And when I say go within, I mean go within. And just be. And focus on the breath and move into the now and stay in the now. A lot of people that are experiencing fatigue and lethargy, the reason is because we're so entertaining the mind that we get exhausted. Because we're entertaining the mind. And the mind, as you well know, we begin to discover, is never satisfied. So it creates another illusion called the ego. And the mind, between the mind and the ego, it's never going to be satisfied. Everything's a temporary fix. And the only way we're going to figure that out and move what we truly are is by going within. Some people fear going within. That's fine. But before courage comes fear. You can't have courage without fear. First fear, then courage. Then you go within and you discover. You don't have to search. You just be, and it will come to you. Not you finding it. It's already there. So you discover these things. This is the real transition of humanity, this civilization. All these humanoid bodies are filled with gods. That's a fact. It's a fact. You, all of us, are gods within these bodies. Do we seek a God that is out there? No, that isn't the God. The God is you, each one of us. We have all been literally bastardized with teachings and how we've been taught and experienced things and influenced through the ego mind on this planet. So therefore, we have no clue. And we learn that by seeking outside of ourselves is arduous, suffering, gut-wrenching at times. You want to feel refreshed? Do you desire to feel refreshed? Do you desire to feel good, unencumbered? Then go within. You go within. You discover. And then you experience bliss. Are you concerned about anything? No, not in the now, not within. There's no concern. Because it's all material, physical world. And we seek and we seek and we seek. Over and over again, throughout our lives. And what do we find? Pretty much more of the same, isn't that true? Every now and then you get a quick fix. You feel blissful. But it doesn't last. Because it's not you. It's the ego mind. So you begin to, it's up to each of us, though. No one's going to force you. You could read all the guru books and everything. It's for you to discover that, you know what? This is the true direction for me. I feel it. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to go on a long trip. I don't have to go into deep meditation farms. I can do this by myself. I can go within. I can stay within. I can focus on my breath. That's not difficult, focusing on the breath. You know, do you need 3,000 pages of, sage stored records? No. We all can do that. And you're not really doing anything but going within and listening and being. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is what? Focus on our breath. That's it. Relax the body. When you focus on the breath, you're going to relax the body. Okay? Because all of the mind chatter that we all have, 24/7, all of the ego mind, the subconscious mind, are gone. Because they don't exist in the now. You see why Buddha, and we're all Buddhas, we're all Maitreyas, we're all that. And you see why Buddha stayed within. He stayed in the now. It's where he stayed in the now. Same with Maitreya. Same with Lao Tzu. Same with many that you aren't even familiar with their names. There is nothing in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, any more powerful than the God that you are in that body. There's nothing more powerful than the God you are in that body. Period. It isn't even a debatable. And doesn't it seem simple for us to move into the now and focus on our breaths? It would appear that way, wouldn't it, on the surface? But yet many of us have the habit of being outside of ourselves and be in the habit of seeking that which is out there, not that which is in here. And, we all know that when we get in habits, it's tough to get that habit done with and move on. So focusing on the breath. And it's an easy, slow inhale through the nose and an easy, slow exhale through the mouth. And staying in the now. Someone, anybody could ask you things, and it's just a normal conversation with how this civilization has been habitualized and trained, is that, what are you going to do tomorrow? What are you going to do tonight? Right? What are you going to do in an hour? You have no clue, nor do you care. See? And it goes against the grain of how everything on this planet, everybody on this planet has been disciplined. But see, that's where everything is. That's where the freedom is. That's where the bliss. And guess what? It doesn't end. It's not temporary like outside of ourselves in the ego mind. It's permanent. And it's interesting because it's been permanent and in infinity and beyond within us the whole time. The whole time. And yet we spend countless lifetimes seeking outside of ourselves. Wanting, having, getting. You know? Wanting, having, and getting. And then that's the temporary fix, and then we want, have, and get more. And that's why so many on this planet at this time and this now are so fatigued, because they've been spending all their time outside of themselves. And that can get really doggy. It really can. Heavy, burdensome, stressful, fear, anxiety, worry. Now, this doesn't mean that you're ignoring your life. It's quite the opposite. You're enriching your existence by discovering the God that you are within the body. And then the universe, your vibrational frequency goes up, and it meets the vibrational flow of the universe, and then everything comes to you. And the universe provides you with certain avenues to take action with. It has many, many avenues to take action with. And it's just up to us. It's what we choose. It's what we discover. And goodness sakes, I think that a lot of us have understood that seeking outside of ourselves, we've done that, been there, done that. More lifetimes than we can even think of. Where's it gotten us? Anywhere? Of self-discovery? No. So it's pretty much a 360-degree journey back to the one, back to the God that we are. And letting go is not easy. Letting go of things is not easy. Letting go of wanting, having, getting. And it doesn't feel comfortable, and it doesn't feel right because we're in such a habit of the opposite. But it's the unknown for many, so then the fear comes, and then for some the courage takes over, and they step into the unknown. And where all the possibilities are. And then they begin to know themselves within. The only reason people on this planet suffer is because the majority seeks outside of themselves and believes that there is a God other than themselves. Okay? When we understand that we are the God, it isn't blasphemy, it isn't sacrilegious, it is the truth. That we each are the God within these bodies. That's it. Embrace it. Understand what that means through the heart-mind. And a whole new world begins to open up for each of us. The rat race is the matrix. That's what it is. The rat race is the matrix. It is up to us to choose to either step out of the rat race for good or to continue on that hamster wheel. Wanting, having, and getting. So you can picture, and you'll see it and feel it eventually. The flow of the universe is constant. It's never interrupted. The only difference is that a lot of us aren't aware of that, so we lower our frequencies through stress, fear, anxiety, worry, hurry. All of that lowers our vibrational frequency. So the flow that comes to all of us, every single one of us, constantly, infinity and beyond, we drop below it. So the flow continues, but it passes us over because our frequency is too low to bring ourselves to the constant flow of the universe, the total abundance. And this is what happens. And the more angry we get, the more frustrated, the more fatigued and burnout we become, the lower our vibrational frequencies will be. And the only one that can change that is you. That's it. You. Give the God that you are within a hug. Sit with the God that you are. Commune with the God that you are. Because that's what you are. And no matter how hard that the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies work on this civilization to try to get it to believe otherwise, in the end, it's futile. Because we will discover that we all are gods. And the massive shift will have happened. You want to know what the true shift is for this civilization? It's learning that each of us are gods within the body. It's accepting and embracing that wholeheartedly, infinity and beyond. Not ego mind. That will have been mastered. Because in the now, the ego mind does not exist, neither does the subconscious mind. And it may seem simple to many, right? So what am I supposed to do, give up on life? No. It's a whole different perspective of life and understanding. How are you going to enjoy the life when you are incapacitated without there? How? You're not. It's been proven thousands of lifetimes, and many and most still aren't. Well, some people might say, well, we aren't going to learn if we don't have pain and suffering. You can have pain and suffering for a month and know what it's like, and that's all you need. But we're always learning. Learn about joy, happiness, bliss. Many of us haven't learned anything about those. We've learned a lot about pain and suffering. And the only reason that we have pain and suffering is because we're outside of ourselves. So you relax that body you're in by focusing on your breath. You drop away all of the worries, stresses, fears, and anxieties because they don't exist in the now, because that's in the past or the future. And that's the ego mind. That's where the ego mind is, the past or the future. And the ego mind does everything it can in overtime and overdrive to keep all of us either in the past or the future. And that's why we suffer. That's why we have attachments and expectations, because we're either in the future or the past. And very rarely are we in the now. And that's what this meditation is about. It's a little different today. It's all about you. It isn't about anybody else. Because each of us are everything. It's not the body. And I think everybody on this meditation knows that. But yet we still practice the body. Now, I can attest to the fact that Buddha never got in a barroom brawl, never indulged in anything that was hallucinogenic, or any of those who discovered that they were the God within the body. That's the first step. Then you start discovering how powerful you are. And this is because, understand, in the now, the ego mind doesn't exist, so you don't look at the power like all the egotists on this planet do of control and more power and more control and more destruction and more pain and more suffering. Okay? We can do anything as the gods that we are. We can create anything. We have no limits. We have no boundaries. We are completely free. We were created in freedom. We've always been free. We always will be free. This mystique of trying to suppress the civilization into believing that it isn't free is an illusion, because we are outside of ourselves. So we believe in that the ego mind dictates to us, well, you're not free because of this, this, and this. All of us have the power to transform this planet in a blink of the eye. But as long as we stay connected and believe that we're the body and seek outside of ourselves, it won't happen. It won't. Why do you think that just in your lifetime, how many things have you seen that have been repetitive? How many? Quite a few, huh? And how many times have you seen history repeating itself? Because the civilization does the same thing and expects different results, just like Einstein stated. This civilization keeps doing the same thing over and over again, and it expects different results. And it won't get different results until it understands who and what it is. And it isn't about everybody. It's about you. It's about you discovering that you are the God, and to embrace that understanding, not push it away or feel embarrassed or guilty, or have someone tell you, well, that's sacrilegious. You're nothing. You're a human. You're not a God. You see how that works? So it suppresses and it reconfigures the direction of humanity. And I think that all of you know this in your heart centers. I believe that you feel this, that it's not a joke to you, that you don't take it lightly, and you don't dispel it or dismiss it. I think you know what I'm conveying to you is real. It's the truth. It's profound. Now, maybe, some of us are fearful of that, to be that powerful. Maybe it scares some of us. Nothing wrong with that. Because when you first discover that you're the God, some people do experience those times where they're fearful of their power. They're fearful of it. They don't understand it. And that's okay too. Because when you have rediscovery of the God that you are within the body, and rediscovery means that you may have had amnesia for thousands, millions, billions, and trillions of years. So the occasion on this planet to actually acknowledge the fact, just to begin to acknowledge that you're the God. And there's nothing ever that can disprove that. Ever. It's funny, they look for the God particle. You are the God particle. We talk about the one, right? In this meditation, we are the one. We talk about unity at times. Unified, right? Being together, working together. That means that we all have identified the fact that we are the God within the body, not the body. We want change on this planet, don't we? We all do. Many desperately. But you're not going to have that ability outside of yourself. And it's been proven. And you know that that is the truth. All you do is seek within, find the God within, and the God within will let you know that that is the truth. It's not like the ego mind. Helter-skelter, Tasmanian devil. is calm. This is the calm in the middle of the storm, the God that you are. And all of those that are fatigued, that's the ego mind. That's the fatigue you feel. The ego mind fatigue. Being outside of yourself, even when you think that you're inside. So you go within. You focus on the now. You easy and slowly in through the nose with your breath, easy and slowly out with your breath out the mouth. Now, there are times for all of us where we're in the now, and the ego mind is sitting out there in the future or in the past, trying to figure out how to get you back out there. So what it does is it creates all kinds of thoughts. And these thoughts come in. You're not sending those thoughts. Each of us send those thoughts out at 60,000 plus a day. It doesn't mean we know them all, but we do this. We're creators. Why wouldn't we? So as we do this, then we have all of these other programs that float by us, fly by us like clouds in the sky. Those are all over the place. They're all the thoughts, all the programs that have been emitted by anything and everything that's ever been on, in, above, and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya. And they're not ours. But the nice thing is, we acknowledge that. We begin to master that. And see, in the now, they're not there. In the now, they're not there. The only time they affect you is when you step out into the future or the past, where the ego mind is. Then you get tricked. But when you can understand, says if you do float out of the now, which happens to all of us, very gently, kindly, generously, and humbly with yourself, in the deepest of gratitude, I will focus on my breath and I'll be in the now every single time. And you will be. You can do this while you're walking somewhere, talking, interacting, or just being. It's a practice. And you've got to be willing to practice. You do. And the ego mind will try to make you lazy so that you won't practice, that you won't do it, that you won't have time, that you've got better things to do of wanting, having, and getting. And that's what will pull you away. And the ego mind is a master because it controls most of the people on this planet. And then we ask ourselves, well, why is it there? So that we can master it. That's why it's there. Why do you think anything is there? So we can master it. Now, imagine you had none of that. What would there be to master? Which means learn. There wouldn't, would there? And since we learn, why are we learning? Why do we learn? We learn to progress, to move into higher and higher and higher forms of existence. How would we ever get anywhere if there was nothing? Do we have something to do with these celestials? Do we have something to do with the universes? Yes, a big fat yes, we do. Are we aware of it? Not many right now. Not many. And when you touch the God that's within you, that you really truly are, everything changes. And then you begin to realize is that I don't care to leave this place. Ever. There's no reason to. Why would I go out there again when I've discovered who and what I am? And then out there is superfluous. So then we learn how to enjoy our stay in these bodies. We learn how to stay in bliss, joy, kindness, gentleness, prosperity, and abundance, which is always there, always has been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. Each of us have the ability to change the weather on this planet. That's not a joke. That's not made up. That's a reality. Each of us have the ability to change the course of history, to change the now, to be in the now, to shift, to end all pain and suffering. We're not there yet, but we have that within us. So imagine collectively a handful of us that have acknowledged this. And not the head, not the ego mind, but through our heart minds, through the gods that we are, we have acknowledged this fact. We can eliminate the evil, the pure evil, the darkness. We can bring in much more light. We can change lives. And what is the God influence? That's the God within each and every one of us that we are. And then we learn that God is not pain and suffering and death and destruction, punishment, harshness. God is pure, deep, eternal love. So right now, in the now, picture this through your heart, mind's motion. Picture. Everywhere you look, there is kind of a cascading waterfall, so to speak, but it's clear. You know what I mean? It's not foamy. It's absolutely crystal clear. And all around you, you have these different colors that are coming down. Through you, above you, beneath you, around you, head to toe. And you see this brilliant emerald green. And it all appears to be like a fire, but not a burning fire. And you see this, you look one and you see this beautiful emerald green cascading like a water liquid. And you see it in front of you cascading down all around you. And then you move a little tiny bit more, and you see this vibrant, beautiful rose pink color cascading down. And then you move again and you see this white fire cascading down. And you look at yourself and you are complete flame. You're this beautiful, multicolored flame. And the essence of what the God is within you is the bright light that all this cascading is emanating from. The green of healing, the white fire of protection, the purple transmuting flame of cleansing. All of this is the God that you are, and you're seeing it, you're experiencing it. And all the fatigue, all the tiredness, all the exhaustion is lifted. And you discover that it's the body that is experiencing this, not the God, the body. And then you begin to realize, I am the God. And then you feel bliss, not temporarily, but it floods you. And then you feel the joy. And then you feel total peace, happiness. And everywhere is nothing but prosperity and abundance. And it's effortless. It's flowing to you, not away from you. And you look at the planet, because you're hovering above the planet, all of us are, and we're in this circle, this beautiful fire ring of light. And we're watching as the planet itself is being cleansed. And it is being cleansed by the God, all of us. And you see this darkness. You're watching. We're all watching. We're not interfering. We're watching. And we see this darkness. And it is the darkest of the darkest dark. And it looks like black goop. And we see as it's being lifted off the planet, who's doing that? What is doing that? The God, you, all of us. Why are we doing that? Because we have expressed the love that we are. And by expressing the love we are on this planet, on it, in it, above it, below it, the dark, the lower frequencies, cannot exist. You'll know that to be true through your heart, mind, the God that you are. And as you do that, you discover that all of this, all this darkness, all this vileness that has taken place on this planet in the physical material world and the ether world has all been created by all of us gods not being aware that we're lowering our vibrational frequencies through anger, hatred, greed, deceit, manipulation, revenge, ego mind, control, power, that all of us have created this very thing through our fits of anger, disappointment, pain, suffering, has created all of this, drawn it to this planet. So it's pretty simple that now we discover that what we have created, we can uncreate. And it's through the discovery of the gods that we are within these bodies. And that's a choice. That's what that is. It's a choice. It isn't someone making you do it. It isn't someone trying to trick you into believing it. It is you feeling the God that you are within that body, in this now. And it's all up to you. It isn't a burden. It's a discovery. And there's nothing to fear at all. But you watch as this takes place. You can see your vibrational frequency of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. It's like this big show. And it's exuberating, and it's enjoyable, and it is releasing, and it is freeing. It's like all this bondage that we put on ourselves is being burned away. You feel lighthearted. You feel light of heart. You feel light, period. As if you're floating. Not out of control, but just lightly floating. You're at ease. Your body's at ease. There's no conflict. There's no struggle. There's no anger. There's no greed. There's no frustration. There's no revenge. There's no hatred. It's all gone. That was in the ego mind and the physical material world. So it's like everywhere you are, this multicolored prism that saturates, permeates you is always on. It's always flowing. It is the liquid auric field of the God that you are. That's phenomenal. And then you start to realize that all the damage to this planet, all the damage to the civilization, all the damage to all life can be eliminated. And the most powerful force that has ever been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever is within that body. The most powerful force ever created is within you, the God that you are. And to freely be able to make that statement to yourself through your heart. I am the God that I am. When you look at this planet and you see how wonderful it is, because we all do, and we say to ourselves, boy, can we create or what? And we unconsciously, we can create that. We can create dark. Okay? You see how we have been miffed, dispersed, separated, tricked to believe that we are the body, that we have no power, that we're powerless, that we have to follow external authority right to the end, right off the cliff. You start to see the picture. You start to understand it. Not with revenge, not with hatred or anger. That'll just bring you back down into that pit. But you see things with love. You begin to understand. We created everything that there is, we have created. Anything that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, we created. Now you can see what happens when you have a bunch of gods that are not consciously aware, disconnected through the illusion, but always there. And you walk around this planet and you view the planet. You auto-view it. You could sit and be and auto-view this planet and everything on it, in it, above it, and below it through the eyes of the God that you are. Feeling everything. How would you like this planet to be? And not through the ego mind, through the heart mind. How would you like this planet to be, not just for you, but for everyone? How would you see it? How would you create it to be that way? Use the power that you are. Use the power through the love that you are. To the supreme creator that you are. Draw on that power. Make the changes. What do you think change is about? We live through these bodies in an environment that is always changing, never the same. The body itself, from day to day, is never the same. You think this body will be the same tomorrow? No, it'll be different. Now, the gods that we are, the only thing that doesn't change is the gods that we are, because we are divine perfection. Does that mean that we don't progress? No. It just means as divine perfection, we go through experiences to be more aware of increasing our vibrational frequencies. How many levels are there? They're infinite. You see? course, it has to be that way. That's the way we designed it. Okay, so we reach the top, then what we do? That's the material physical world mentality. This is a never-ending existence. All of us gods are immortal. We don't cease. We don't get diseases. We don't get sick. Any of that. So everywhere you are, God is. Feel that. Everywhere you are, God is. Everything that you do on this planet, God is with you. Never not. Ever. How can that be? You are God. Are you ever alone? No. You never will be. How can any of us be lonely? Because we don't understand. We look at the external reality, the physical material world, and it looks like we are separate and we're alone. We're lonely. Yet to know that we are all part of each other. Isn't that absurd that we feel that way? And see, the reason that we draw to each other is because we're pure, deep, eternal love within these bodies. So what is love? Love embraces. Love is cleansing, uplifting, a very highest of the highest high vibrational frequency. So, of course, the God within is drawn to embrace others, to help heal others, to literally spread the light of the gods that we all are. And then you watch, just as a spectator, a watcher, as everything transforms. The hatred, the fear, the lethargy, the tiredness, the fatigue, the worry, all of it vaporizes. It's replaced with much higher vibrational frequency. Then you begin surrounding yourselves with others that understand as well. So the more and more that embrace this, and they choose to do that, they begin to attract like a magnet more like-minded, more people that have discovered at least that they know they are not the body, and they're beginning to discover the gods that they are within that body. I'm not saying fully, but that's a step in the right direction. So as we go into silence, focus on the God that you are through your heart minds. I'll join in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath, easily and slowly, in through your nose, and an easy breath, easily and slowly, out your mouth. For today, repeat the mantra, I am, with your breath throughout the day. On your exhale, say mentally the word I. So as you're exhaling, you're saying I. And release any ideas you have about who or what you are. On your inhale, say the words mentally. And feel the sense of presence inside. Don't try to control the mantra. Let the mantra guide you deeper inside. You can do this when you're driving, showering, eating lunch, standing in line at the market, or even just watching TV. Keep on watching your breath as you say these words, and notice how your experience changes throughout the day. Take this with you for the rest of the day, evening, night, and to the following morning. We will return here Friday, April 22nd, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call, and 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our reverse aging health call.